Greetings. Come on in, sit on down. It's a great day to learn, is it not? It's always a great day to learn. Like nature, we waste nothing. Yes. This is a part of the show where we say we never talk about celebrities, and then we do it anyway. But however, we're not talking about. We're not here to gossip. We're not here to judge, or really to point fingers. We're here to let's put ideas, beliefs, and behaviors on the table and see what conclusions we can draw from that. Right? Let's take the people themselves out of it because none of us know what it's like to be on a large scale. Like, I really think I think you should really accept, like, you got no idea what it's like to perform on a large scale. You have no idea what it's like to be him or her. So the topic of discussion for the past week or so has been the great Deion Sanders, prime time Deion Sanders. And the question is, what can we learn from the great prime time? Well, we can learn a lot. In the physical sense, Prime has shown you how to win in the physical world. And that's worth noting. Like, you got to get a man his props. I don't really think people understand, depending on how old you are, who that guy was. Like, they got to make a movie out of him. I hope they do it while he's still alive. Like, he was that guy, right? And all of the accolades, all of the praise, all of the he's the shit talker without talking the shit, right? So he talks his junk, but he never curses. But he could back it up. So he earned the right to do that. So he showed the masses, particularly people who look like him, how to win at an elite level and how to do it on your terms. That's a great lesson. That's a phenomenal lesson, right? So we got to give Prime his props. And the beautiful part about his story is how he created. He really showed you how to put the ego to good use for you. How you create that ego, some call it the alter ego, into you turn into the beast and you let the beast go to work for you. It's the beast that fights the battles. It's the beast that wins, right? And if you've ever listened to, he's told the story many times, but if you've listened to his Hall of Fame acceptance speech, and he talks about how he created prime time. It was the one thing that was going to enable him to ensure that his mother never had to work another day in her life. And he did that. You got to salute that. You got to. You got to. Now we fast forward, and Prime is in quite an interesting position. And unfortunately, and I take it back to the first statement, like, I don't think any of us understand operating at that scale for as long as he has. See, everybody got the idea of how they would do it. Like, don't tell me how you would do it, just do it. I don't want to hear your little fantasies in your mind of how you would handle you don't know. And when you are operating at that level, mastering the physical world, there's really not a lot of deep solitude, introspection, spiritual life. There's not a lot of time for that, right? So, as we see with many people who get to celebrity status, well known public figures, And those of us on the other side of this often are like, yo, what, you got all of this money and you don't know the game. You got all of this access and you don't know what's really going on. And we see people throughout the 2020 saga falling right in line with everybody else, taking the shots like everybody else. Not only taking the shots, suggesting, encouraging others to do the same. And those of us on the other side of it is like, yo, how do you get to this point and you allow, like, you got enough money to not do that, so why are you doing it? And I don't think you understand, because once you in the belly of the beast, that's where you are. It takes a lot for you to come up out of that. And you trust the people around you. You trust the top of the top. Even though you're in the belly of the beast, you trust who's ever at the top of that belly, right? The most skilled, the experts in the field. And unfortunately, that's what Prime did. Now, I saw where Dr. McCullough went in straight no chaser on his speculations of what brought about Deion's blood clots, Coach Prime's blood clots. And it seemed as though during the 2020 saga, he first had a minor procedure because he had turf toe. And from there, somewhere in between 2021 and 2023, something, he developed the clots. The story we were told was that it was genetic, hereditary, which I find to be interesting. Knowing the level that he played, playing multiple sports at a high level for multiple years, and there was never any indicator. Do you understand the level of testing that professional athletes have to go through? Do you understand the testing they have to go through to be insured? I don't know. That's what we were told. Okay. Then we fast forward, and there was a promotion of the shots around. I would need to get. I should have got the exact timetable. But there was a sequence of events with the promotion of the shot, the getting the shot, the clots, the emergency where he thought he was going to lose a portion of his leg. Then he thought it was his foot, but it ended up being a couple toes. Right? Which was, pretty good scenario. He was, that was good news, right? If you go from thinking you're going to lose a portion of your leg to then your foot and then your toes, a couple toes is like, okay, this is good. And here, fast forward, he just announced that he had an aggressive form of bladder cancer. So much so where he had his bladder removed. Apparently, he had the option to undergo some sort of treatment. It would take about 3 years, and then there was a 50% chance that it could come back. So he opted for the removal. In the removal, they also replaced it. So they took a portion of his small intestines and created a bladder. That's pretty phenomenal. Shout out to big medicine. I mean, you get we going in there nipping and snipping and recreating shit. You got to give the props. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal. Right? To be able to just go in and create a new organ. Now, it's going to pose some challenges because you don't have the nerves connected to that new organ. So where your nerves right now linked to your brain, your central nervous system, that alerts you to when you have to use the restroom, when your bladder is full, when you need to release. He now has to time that. So it's kind of like a timing game. You got to know when to release it, so on and so forth. But hey, I guess if you have to, aggressive cancer in one hand, timing your urine on the other, most people will say, okay, I guess we're going to time the urine. Cool, got it. Uh so where does he go from here? We got several problems. I think I should say this to you. You better get damn clear on what side of this game you're gonna play. I know people want to say, well, why can't I play both sides? Whatever the hell you want to say to yourself, you better get damn clear on what side of this game you're gonna play. It will be no tap dancing both sides. It's going to be either or. What side are you gonna play? You gonna play their side or you gonna play this side? This is your own side, okay? You gonna play the health care game, the sick care game, or you gonna play the wellness game. You need to get clear on what game you're gonna play. You better get clear very quickly. Because you got to start getting your mind right. Once you pull out of all that you've known, you now got to you got to create a whole new freaking mind. Because you got to trust now that what you used to put as an authority is no longer that. You have now shifted and given yourself the authority, and it takes a new mind for that. So you need to get clear on what that's going to be. The problem I have, right, with the whole storyline, let me tell you something. Let's talk about you. Again, I don't want to go into specifics on that brother because I don't know him. However, if your ass was to get two toes cut off and for you still to be eating fried chicken and drinking sodas, the fact that not only were you the spokesperson for KFC, you was on video, y'all at KFC with the family. Bruh, you lost two toes. Like, if I get to the point where I lose two toes, we never eat KFC ever again. We never eat McDonald's ever again. Ever. 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 How are we not making a connection? Shout out to all. I would watch. They brought in all these wonderful chefs in Colorado, and I watched the meals that they were giving. I mean, they were throwing down, y'all. I mean, if you follow, Prime's Instagram, shout out to the chefs. He giving a bunch of chefs opportunity, and they got all of the soul food laid out, all the fried chicken, the extra macaroni with the extra cheese, and the cornbread, and the. Is no one making any connections? Because the fact they were able to catch the cancer because he has to get ongoing screening to be on the lookout for the clots, which means that you have an ongoing issue with the clots. It wasn't a one and done. Why would you? Oh, you better figure out what side of this game you're gonna play. You better. I'm talking to you. I might not can't get the prime, but I'm talking to you. You better figure out which game you're gonna play. You better understand the connection between what you put in your freaking mouth and the condition of your blood, the condition of the integrity of the fluids inside of your body. You better figure that out. And if somebody tells you that you got a clotting issue, you damn well better change your diet. That should be basic. That's you. Do you see how you can? This man is in the midst of the top physicians in the world, not the country, the world, and ain't nobody said nothing about how critical it is that he maintain a certain diet. Now, I'm not gonna say he never had, you know, proper things. We're not gonna say that. I'm pretty sure he had quality things. I know he's had, again, he shouted out chefs. He's given chefs opportunities who prepared things for him. I'm pretty sure quality ingredients, boys and girls. Boys and girls. Oh my God. Oh my God. See, the one thing that we can learn, this should have been the first thing that I really emphasized, that the one thing that Prime got on his side is he is a master of the mental game, right? To some degree to his benefit, to some degree not to his benefit. Because This is where this religion crap come in. It's something about him. He's taken on the mindset that his suffering is is purposeful. That he said this, his words, that God has chosen him to endure these hardships since he's on a larger scale so that God can get the glory. Y'all, God is so weird, bro. Your God is so weird. Your God, who could prevent you from having to experience these things, instead, this is what y'all telling me. Your God has an ego. Your God says, instead of I can either prevent this from happening, or I can ensure that it's in and out, right? We go ahead and I can just nip it in the bud. No, what I kind of want you to suffer. And then I want you to pray to me for help and healing. I'm going to come to the rescue so that you can praise me as a result. Wow. That sounds like the ego. That's what that you don't find that you don't find that suspicious. That sounds like the ego to me. Every time you convince yourself that your suffering is a badge of honor, every time you convince yourself that your pains and your trials and tribulations, that you have been chosen because you're the chosen one, you are supposed to endure trials and tribulations. Let me tell you, your life is going to be full of trials and tribulations. So you better get ready. Baby, you better get ready. They coming. And unfortunately for Coach Prime is that's the hill he is passionate about, and that's the hill that he's gonna die on. So on one end, while his mind is one of the reasons why he's still here, make no mistake about it. His mind, his belief in his God is why he's still kicking, while also his mind in his belief in his God is also why he keeps finding himself in these predicaments. Damn. Damn. God. Like old country folks would say, "God almighty knows." That's a bitch. You don't fall in love with suffering for nobody, not even for your own God. No, sir. You do not wear that shit as a badge of honor. You put that shit down. I don't want to be your strongest soldier if that means I have to continue to endure over and over again. And I'm telling you from a person who got caught up in that at one point. When Job said, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. I remember saying that. I held to that. And I think there is a point where sometimes you need something. It's like a coping mechanism. You need something that can just, you can hold on to, that can just carry you just a little bit. Oh, just a little bit. It can just, can keep you going so you don't totally collapse. But you can't fall in love with that. You can't get in no love affair with that shit. No, no. No, 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 choose somebody else. Damn it. I don't want to be chosen. If you choosing me means I got to continue to take a lashing, like I don't want to do it. No, get somebody else. No, 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 no. And the lesson here is it's your mind. It's you that's determining what you're going to experience. It's you that's determined. Like right now, Prime could decide I've had enough. I had enough of this. I ain't suffering no more. But as long as you tell that story, yes, I know because God gets the praise out of this. Because you're telling yourself, give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more. And what is he going to do now? Is he going to change his diet now? Is anybody going to? Your mind in one instant, because you acknowledge that you can do anything. It helps you do anything. Then on the other end, your mind says, what makes me special, what makes me God's child is because I can endure suffering. Do you see how you create what you don't want like that? Damn. 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 Is there a way out for him? I doubt it. He's deep in now. I think his mind is definitely going to carry him. I think he should be able to I think he should be able to get through the season. I think. Um I don't know. What I know is mind supersedes all. That's what I know. Mind supersedes anything that you can do to your physical body. I don't care what nobody say. I've seen it. We've all seen it. So whereas the average person's predicament, their outlook could be whatever, we dealing with a different type of mind when it comes to him. The unfortunate part is it's set in motion that this suffering is honorable. This suffering is pleasing to God. And as long as you stay in that mindset, you're going to suffer. Don't you understand that this is what we have witnessed this? Everybody that has grown up in the church, don't you understand we've witnessed this? Do you not understand you have seen this your entire freaking life? Your entire life. You've seen it. The worshiping, it's another word, but the obsession with the suffering. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. I'll bury the burden. I'll carry the burden. I'll carry the cross for Christ. No, no, I don't want to. Why? Why? You said, as I think, so I am. I just want to think differently. I think I don't have to do all that. I got a new thought I want to insert. I do not freaking have to do all of that, okay? No, 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 thank you. If I was him, what I would do, first of all, the obvious. I'm gonna be eating a diet that supports my body, my blood, my kidneys, my liver, my lymphatic system. Yeah, I'm going straight to Mother Nature. That's just me. That's what I would do. I double down and triple down on that. I have some people that was close to the that was close to nature next to me. Is what I would. That's what I would do. But you can't when you in that world. You can't. That's not what you do. You don't find no peace in that. Don't you understand? Like everybody that has this advice of all he needs to do is XYZ. See, you can't do more than your mind is willing to accept. He wouldn't find comfort in that. That seems dangerous. That seems reckless. So you got to do what makes sense to you. What makes sense to you is to trust the experts that are at the top of their field. But to have limbs cut off and still be eating crazy, that's crazy. To be diagnosed with not only cancer, but an aggressive case of cancer and to still be eating the same, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. And to think against yourself, to think that your God needs you to be sick to get praise and honor, that's insane. And as long as you subscribe to that type of thinking, buckle in, sucker, because that's going to be your future. That's going to be your future. And it's crazy because everything is what you think, everything is your freaking mind, everything is what you accept as true, what you believe about yourself, about the world, everything. It'll piss you off sometimes. You'll be like, damn, that's me. Damn, that's me. Every time. It's coming back to you every single time. So, what he decides to do, I don't know. I don't have no 2 cents on him. I wouldn't speak against him. I wouldn't bet against him. I wouldn't do that because again, he got a powerful mind. He does. And as long as you can give meaning to, as long as you can put some good meaning to even the undesirable things that you experience, it's enough to carry you. For how long? I don't know. I guess we shall see.